This fat guy?
Yep. Go on. Ask him anything.
How did? Why you so fat?
Okay, ask him about anything but his weight.
What is going on, y'all? Back here again with your final check here for Smoke episode 9. We've made it, guys. And Apple, I need y'all to run me season 2 effing immediately. I don't care if this was planned as a limited series. I'm not sure on that. But that's what I heard. That's what the vibe I got from this. But with the writing, this is anything but a definite ending. This wasn't a series ending. They didn't write it like that. And from what I heard, the writer wants this planned out for 3 seasons at least. So with that being said, Apple, I need y'all to renew this some way, somehow, because we need answers. But I think, I guess the way it was written, I guess you could somewhat say, you know, it was a decent ending, but there are a lot of loose ends, and they definitely plan for this to go season 2. But with that being said, we've been hoodwinked, we've been bamboozled. Dave,
He's fat.
You're fat, buddy. You are fat. Hold up. Let me make sure. Look, this whole season we have been getting this guy right here. Let me pull it up. We've been getting this guy right here. Smooth operator with the glasses, looking fly the whole time. We got this guy. What? I feel tricked, bamboozled. I've been lied to. Dave is trash. Dave is definitely trash. What happened, buddy? What happened? How was he bagging Reba? I understood that, okay, several years could have passed. We saw the photos at the end of the episode when Elliot and Ashley, I thought he was gonna come back for Ashley. He didn't do anything. They were putting away the pictures, and you kind of see progressively, you know, he's getting older, you know, things of that nature. So, I mean, back in the day, he probably looked like that. But this whole time we've been made to believe this image that he put into his head. And in episode 1, when I did my review, even though I was horribly off, because I said I thought Freddie was in his imagination because he was coming up with all these scenarios. I thought Freddie might be an imaginary person, because at first I'm like, we didn't see Freddie burn up anything. They haven't shown him on camera. We saw a hand. That's all we saw at first. And then a couple episodes later, it was quite evidence that, you know, Freddie was an arsonist. But that was my theory. But I was somewhat onto something with, you know, how do we know what's real as far as Dave's point of view? And this whole time, you know, he's had this hero, an image of a hero in his head, or what he thinks a hero is, or what a hero should look like. And yeah, they got me. I'm thinking that's what Dave looks like the whole time. And it turned out
He's fat.
He's fat. He's fat. But we're gonna get into the ending part of this episode as I go along in the review. We're gonna talk about Michelle, of course, the morning after, her getting her story straight, and even her the fire creating even more of a mess. Oh my God. Last episode, you framed a man, you murdered a man. Now you setting forest fires. Only you can prevent forest fires, Michelle. Okay. Well, I ragged on her enough last episode, but Michelle is still trash. She got her man though. Her brother. Who is Benji, man? Who is this guy? This guy's a scammer. All the above. What does he do? Who is your brother, and what does he do, Michelle. We gonna talk about that. That's definitely a loose end and going to season 2. Well, if there is a season 2, we're gonna talk about a possible season 2. And then of course we got the fire scene. Dave got his ass kicked. We see why he ain't got no hands now. I'm like, this guy, he seems fit. Why is it that he can't seem to put hands on nobody? And now we know why. He's fat and out of shape. I don't know. He should still be able to, just the male, female, he should still be able to somewhat overpower her. But I don't know. She kicked his ass. We're going to talk about that. And then we got a visit from Steven. The ghost of Steven came back. So we're going to talk about all those things. This is going to be your check-in for episode 9, guys. If you haven't already, make sure to hit that like button on your way in. We about to get into it, y'all. So here we go. Let's start off with the morning after. Let me get my pictures ready to go here. All right. We are ready to go. Let's go into picture mode. Bam. All right. So we start off the episode. Of course, she got the nerve to be sitting here in the bed with her daughter. Well, not her daughter, her niece, right? Sitting in the bed. She's probably contemplating, of course, the inevitable call that she's gonna getting her story straight. But we also get flashes of her mother. I guess this is a flashback of the incident at the motel. But we still, and this is another plot, not a plot hole, but a loose end. We didn't get the mother. We've been talking about it all season, but we haven't got a glimpse of it except this right here. But if there is another season, of course, I'm pretty sure they're gonna bring that into play. So we just gonna say before another season, y'all. Y'all ain't never gonna see the mother. I'm quite upset at this. But anyway, we go to the burnt body of Steven. I'm disgusted, Michelle. I am disgusted. You made that man tell you. We're not even gonna get into it. That's the last episode, guys. We moving on. Okay, he's a sucker. He got suckered. Okay. I'm disgusted though. Why was Espacito? He may be the MVP this episode. He doing real police work in this bitch. All right. But anyway, he goes up to the crime scene. Was it a homicide? And he just started smiling like he was happy. And of course he's along with Harvey here, and what's the other agent there? Yeah, Agent Don. Which I think there was a small plot hole concerning Espacito. Was at the end of the episode, he seemed complicit. He knew what was going on as far as the evidence, right? But why was because Dawn was there as well? Why didn't she say anything? Or was she asked anything as far as the evidence or question anything about that? I'm not sure, because she was right there with him. So I don't know. Small plot hole, but I'm not gonna hammer on it too much. But anyway, Michelle pulls up to the scene. We got Harvey here saying, Harvey peep game. He's like, I know what you did last summer, okay? But yeah, anybody can see that y'all was smashing, right? But Harvey's cool, passed the vibe test. He ain't gonna tell nobody, right? So Michelle has to act like she didn't burn down this man's house last night. So I think she played it cool. She didn't go in there overly like, oh my god. She wasn't doing all that, but at the same time, she kind of walked a nice tightrope. Okay, didn't show too much, didn't show too little. And then of course we got the monkey wrench right here. There was a camera the whole time that caught it. And I guess with this, we're gonna go ahead and go into Michelle calls a favor, guys. We know the favor. Oh, I forgot about the captain, right? Honestly, I didn't care too much about her. It's too late to be adding new characters right now. Okay. Let's go ahead and get into the favor that Michelle called in. And of course, it was her brother, her dirty brother. What is he into? Why are you letting? Oh well, we know why you letting it slide. He's your family, of course, but you letting a lot of stuff slide, Michelle. She knows about this. I'm pretty sure she knows about this. Okay, this man is a scammer. He got the credit cards, credit card scam. I don't know what he into. He's an asset though. He's definitely an asset. Because even though he at the end of this, you might well go ahead and go to the end with this smile right here. It's like, I got you. Next, if there's a season 2, I got you. I think I know where this is going, because we had the living arrangements of where her mother would be going, and Michelle pretty much got to his wife or whatever, so that can mess things up with as far as that's concerned. She's like, I can picture him saying, well, before this, he saw what was on the tape. He started smiling, and he didn't just delete. He deleted and put it on a thumb drive. I gotcha. Right? I think he's going to blackmail her or something like that. He's going to say, hey, let mom live with you. Y'all piece it up, or I'm going to expose you. But I don't like him having that Trump card in his pocket, man. I don't like it at all. But these are one of the loose ends going into season 2. Okay. I think I'm done talking about that. Dave is scrambling. Dave is scrambling after he is I'm about to be framed. And of course, I thought, I don't know, just when you think you know Reba, she's like, I ain't got nothing to do with this. I was here all night. How do I know? She said, I was on Lunesta, some perks, and some liquor or something. Like, I don't know. How do I know you were here? So, yeah, she's not complicit in this at all. She's like, look, I'm sorry you got burnt, bruh. I can't do nothing with. We had a great night last night, right? We had some good rough coitus, okay? So, yeah, that's pretty much over shit. She said, you can see your way out. Dave goes to the office. This has to be the most uncomfortable work setting when you go to the office and your coworkers know you are an arsonist and burn it down stuff. But we just talking about it it's just cooler talk at this point. I know what you did. Oh, I know what you did too. All right. But we get Dave here asking, about the vehicle that later has the evidence, of course. So that's why he's, so into getting that vehicle back. Then we get Dave and Harvey kind of having their final piece, so to say. I'm innocent. I didn't do it. And then we getting, it's not a smoke episode without sexual innuendos. And he's talking about, a lot of the houses have back doors. And then even with, Michelle putting the gun in his mouth, and they made it look kind of sexual. So a lot of sexual innuendo in this this series, of course. They said, hey, I go down, you go down, but he's like, look, bro, you killed the kid. You ain't got nothing. And from this, we about to get ready to go into the fire, guys. And Michelle, of course, by burning the house down, the embers went over to the grass field, and then from the grass field went over into the dadgum this warehouse here that starts burning down, and then the embers from the warehouse go back into the forest, creating a forest fire. Michelle, you are a serial arsonist at this point, and you are trash. Okay, it's your fault. But we get a little side mission going on. I think this is possibly a plug into season 2. If we need another arsonist, of course, just a little, here's a little nugget for a possible season 2 plot. And we get, I guess somebody is able to raise the temperature in the lab from a unknown point and just make anything explode with the tap of a button or something like that. So we could get some type of arsonist like that. But other than that, seemed like kind of a little side mission from what was going on. And then we get the big fire. And then he says, hey, let's go for a drive. And this is where the showdown begins, of course. And, Michelle's like, man, stop this damn car. And of course he stops the car, and she goes flying out the window, presumably, and I got a comment on TikTok, and they were like, how does she fly out the window and have no wounds? Buddy, there were wounds. There were cuts on the chest, the shoulder, the face. It's TV. Y'all gotta let some stuff slide. Now, should she be in perfect condition? I don't know. I've never flown out of a window. Okay, but those that's probably one of the logical nitpicks that somebody's gonna say. But she is definitely wounded. She's definitely wounded. But yeah. But with that being said, we're going from into the fire. Now it's time, Dave. I'm going to kick your ass. Okay, let's get into it. And of course, she started tying up her hair. You know what it's on. I love the shot. And she definitely she mostly shot at him. Even though that was warranted. If you try to throw me out of a car, I'm shooting you too. And after this, she stomps his nuts or whatever, and then proceeds to put the gun in his mouth. Another sexual innuendo here. And she's like, suck it. But anyway. All right. Did y'all enjoy all the special effects? I felt like maybe it was a little too much, but it looked good, I guess. Maybe it was a little too heavy on the special effects here and there, but still a great scene. And from here, Michelle shows mercy, of course. She starts reading him his rights in the middle of the fire, of course. And then we get the rain coming down, and we got that same music. I don't know why it's cut off here. We got the same music that when Freddy saw the embers, stuff like that, and it calmed him. And I guess I like the nice symbolism, I guess, with the rain dousing the fire, the rage inside Michelle that's about to shoot Dave or whatnot. But yeah, so Dave is shown mercy by Michelle, and she's taking him in, of course, doing things the right way. Michelle, oh my, what a concept. And of course, Espacito comes to pick them up, taking them to the prison here. All right, so we got Michelle bringing Dave back. Of course, she's in the office talking to the captain, and once again, Dave wants to F me. So yeah, then we go from there to our buddy Steven. The ghost of Steven returns, and he's basically saying, hey, look, it's inevitable. Michelle, your day will come. Your day will come. You still trash. You know, you got rid of an arsonist, but you're still trash and you're going down. Basically, that's what he said. And but yeah, we shall see if there is indeed a season 2. I think, you know, Michelle is still gonna have this hovering over her head. But then again, you know, they did kind of sweep her going to that bunker and shooting nobody. They just swept that under the rug too. So maybe she will get away with this. I don't know. But yeah. I don't think you're completely out of this, Michelle, but we shall see. We shall see. So we get a guest appearance from Ghost Steven, of course. So she shakes that off, and then we get into the final segment of the show here. The real Dave, y'all. He's fat.
He's fat.
Let's keep going. So she brings him in. And of course, he's trying to twist the story around. Hey, you shot at me. This, that, and the third. So he tried to spin it, but of course, Michelle is just, you know, going back and forth with him. She got the evidence, because there was an independent, investigation that he didn't know about, of course. But so at this point, you know, he's starting to unravel here. I like the acting from him, you know, and, you know, when she basically says, hey, that little scrap paper with the charcoal dust, you know, then he starts getting a little scared. He looks into the mirror. Fat Dave, you're fat. Okay. And he does get one more little quip in, you know, before he eventually unravels. A fat girl whose mother was willing to broil her like effing sirloin. And then, of course, it took the strength of God for her to not snap on him. But then, of course, the MVP, Esposito, finds some concrete evidence. Real police work. Okay, give him his badge back. Okay. And then this is where he starts getting to his acting back. That's not who I am. That's not who I am. And you got him shaking in his boots, literally. Great facials. And then he turns. We're revealed that this was not the Dave. This was not the Dave we've been dealing with the whole time. This guy, because he's fat.
He's fat.
Okay. So from there, we get a little screen time with Elliot and Ashley. And they're going through his trash, how to write a novel for idiots, right? She's like, I married a loser. And then we go through all the old pictures, and he looks decent here. He looks decent, but like I said, you know, we're going through what he used to look like to now. So he probably did look like that in his younger years, but that ain't what we talking about right now. But at his age, at his current age, how was he able to pull Reba at that point? At that point, I understand he may have been younger. How was he able to pull Reba? I don't know, because Reba still looked good. He fell off. But, you know, love is in the eye of the beholder, I guess. And then we get this creepy smile, of course. And he says, I know who I am. And then, of course, she says, I do too. This can be interpreted many ways. So, do you know that you are a manipulator and an arsonist now? A murderer? And you framed him, man? Does that mean you know who you are? Is that what that means? But yeah. But just ended it off that way, you know. And then I like of course, the name of the episode is Mirror, and you saw, of course, Dave looking in the mirror multiple times in that investigation room, and then you saw the wide shot with them both looking at each other with the mirror, and so I like how that was tied in. Basically, you know, self-reflection. You saw her looking in the mirror with Steve, of course. and just all those self thoughts going on, things of that nature. So yeah, but with that being said, that was pretty much the end of the episode here, and my thoughts on the ending. Did I like it? I like the ending. It would be better if there is a season 2, but I think with what we were left with, it works just fine for ending. You can kind of plug in and see where everything would be going. Benji would, have some type of dirt on her to, I guess, manipulate her as far as her mother in that situation. So that would be my guess with that. She's still going to be looking over her shoulder as far as Steven is concerned. We don't know necessarily if Dave went to jail. If they want to extend the storyline of Dave, of course, he could be in jail and still, have some scenes there. Maybe set a fire and break out. Who knows? But it did seem like they were setting up for another antagonist, possibly with the whole lab explosion. So we could go there as well. But it does seem like I don't see how Dave would get out of this and go scot-free. It's a wrap for him. He knew it was a wrap. That's why he was shaking in his boots. But yeah, there are a lot of things you can infer as far as what's going to go on in season 2 if there were to be. But ultimately I think it's gonna depend on the viewership. I'm not sure the exact numbers. I know on the charts it's always like top 5 as far as I know, but I definitely want a season 2. But as far as the plot holes, not the plot holes, but the loose ends, I don't have a particular issue with it. I know probably the fan base is divided on this issue, but you needed something to bring you back to another season. So if it was written with another season plan, I have no problem with it at all. But if there is no other season, you can still kind of guess where things are going. And hey, we got a man, we got Dave. We know he's going to jail. Ain't no way he getting up out of this. But that's how I feel about the loose ends. But y'all tell me what you guys think. This has been your final check-in for Smoke. Hopefully we get another season. We shall see. But that's going to be it for me, guys. Y'all let me know down below. Fire off down in the comments and let me know what you thought of this season finale, possibly series finale. But anyway, guys, that's going to be it for me. I got to get up out of here. See y'all later. Peace out.